And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast universe with Brandon Rush, Mama Rush. Mama Rush is about to be here in a second. We have 11 million viewers and listeners in 28 countries and 256 cities around the world. We are doing an excellent job. We have my good friend here, Lana Harris, who is back today. Lana Harris is a news anchor, and she has been an anchor before in her past, has been on all kinds of news stations from Jacksonville to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Columbia, South Carolina, and to Atlanta, Georgia as well. I might have repeated that a couple of times. But now Lana does Lana on Location, where she does the news live from wherever she is in the world. And we're happy to have her back on here. So I'm going to go ahead and send over the link so we can have her show up here.
Back up a little bit.
Just recording.
Virgil's going to send another picture.
Okay, that sounds good. It's going to be on there. Let's see. Why is this thing tilting like that? Oops, I meant to add line. I guess I've got to. I like her headshot.
Hi.
Lana, hey, how are you doing?
How's it going? Oh,
it's going well. Yeah, so I think, do you have it locked in, Lana?
I sure do. Hold on.
Yeah, whenever you unlock it, boom.
Boom.
Hey!
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing? How's Lana on Location going?
Oh, we're just surviving out here, trying to thrive, in these streets.
Yeah, hey, I love it. I absolutely love it. I've been keeping up with the news, like your location. Where's your location right now?
Currently, I'm in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love Las Vegas. How's that going?
It's going good since I've stopped trying to attempt the casino. I'm not a gambler, so I always go in there kind of afraid. And I was like, why do people do this? This is not fun.
No, it causes you. I stopped gambling back in back in, I think 2010. I lost $200 and I never have gone back since. I had like such heart palpitations. That would have paid for my hotel room that weekend too.
That's how I feel about, I'll go in with $20 and as soon as I lose it, I'm like, this is like, what is this?
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Introduction.
Yes, Lana, I pre-did it. Actually, I pre-did the introduction, but I basically said it's Lana on Location. Lana is a former news anchor. She was an anchor in North Carolina, Jacksonville, Columbia, South Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
Did I miss any place?
Oop, hold on. You guys froze. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, no, I think I got all the places, but now you have your Lana on Location, which is up-to-date news wherever you go. Tell us everything about you, Lana. It's all about you.
And
again.
Lana, Mama Rush is so happy to see you because I've been seeing you on Location, and so I want to hear about that. And we have grown such a following since we last saw you, and we thank you for all that you did to make that happen. We want to say that first.
Oh, wow. It's all you guys.
No. You being an early guest, it got people's attention. People around the world started paying attention. So
yes,
that's amazing.
Yeah. But all about you. Tell us about
Location.
How's it been? You tell us.
Okay, so I've been doing news my whole life, right? It's my whole adult life. And I just can't seem to get away from it. I can't seem to stop. It just is really so fascinating to me. And it's been a lot more interesting on this side of it because before I was always kind of locked into one network. So whoever I'm working for is who I can use. This is the first time in my life that I've been able to go and look at what everybody's saying, what every network is saying, and pull from everything and try to share, some important things that are going on. And man, it has been fascinating watching. You know how this country's very divided? We all know.
Yeah.
It has been fascinating watching how it's happening because I never realized how much the news played a role into that. And I think it's happening very unintentionally. I don't think it's, I don't know. I don't think it's any sinister plot, but people in the news business, these networks, they cover things differently. So if you watch one network, you're going to get one kind of a take. And if you watch a different network, you're going to get a different kind of a take. And a lot of people look at these networks as if that one's just fake news or that one's just fake news. But I think that everybody is genuinely covering news differently. And they're covering the types of details that they're kind of viewership wants to hear. They're not going to, one side's not going to have these types of guests and the other side's not going to have these types of guests. But I feel like that's kind of a disservice almost because everybody's not getting the same information. And what I realized as I've been doing this is that people aren't wrong in the way that they feel.
Uh-oh, you froze for a second. It's all good. You're frozen for a second, but you'll be back. I know you will be. And while we have a commercial in between, Lana is frozen. No, she'll be back.
Details of all the sides. Did that
Lana,
work? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So you froze.
Oh,
you kind of froze. So go back to where you said.
Brandon did a little commercial.
Yeah, I did a little commercial while you're frozen. So basically, but it might have kept going on your end. But Lana, we repeat from where you've noticed it. Not all stations are wrong. They're just getting news differently. Can you go from there?
Yeah. So since everybody's giving different information, they'll pull out the details that they find their viewership most interested in. Mm-hmm. So it's real, but they may not be getting both sides of it. So I thought, what if I could now watch everything and get little tidbits from everything and just tell people all of it. That way, at least people wouldn't think everybody's just crazy. They're crazy. It's like, no, they're just getting different information.
Yeah.
And if I can at least tell people, like, this is why this person feels this way, because this is what they're hearing, then maybe, we could all try to be a little bit more cohesive and, bring down the temperature, because, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Very.
It's just like, I feel like the more we can cut down on some of the just divisiveness and the confusion, the more we can all kind of get on the same page and, just like understand where we live a little better. So that's been really cool.
Yeah. So you're adding the human element to it, which is kind of taken out. I feel like you're adding more of a human personal element to it is what I'm seeing from what you just said. That's what I, as a person, am getting from that.
Well, what's funny? When I first got into the news business, when I was in college, we had to start watching news videos not news videos, like news stations. We had news quizzes, and they said, you guys have to start watching the news. So I turned on the local news, and I was in Atlanta, and I'm like, man, I won't tell you who I was watching. I'm like, this is boring. I don't want to watch this. And I was looking around. I'm like, man, what am I getting into? And then I turned on this one channel. This lady, she doesn't work there anymore. Her name is Robin Mead. She worked for HLN. And so I'm getting a phone call. I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb. Can you still see it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And she would laugh, and she was personable, and she was, you could feel her heart, her soul as she was telling you these news stories. It didn't just feel like a talking head. And I said, that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do, because she's giving me the information that I need, but I don't feel like I'm just watching someone who doesn't want to be there, or watching someone who's just kind of like flatly saying things. So, with social media, you almost have to like dial it up a little bit more, because people's attention spans, we're all flipping.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like do something to grab people. And I try to like bring that energy, because it's like, I know it's boring, but how can I try to make it interesting enough for you to want to listen? That's what kind of I wanted to do with that. Yeah.
Well, Lana, sorry, Mom. Lana, you've done a phenomenal job. Well, because I know you personally, I see, even when you were like, when I saw you do when you're an anchor, I still saw your personality shine in every single thing that you do. So I actually don't think that you're tuning. It doesn't seem like you're tuning it. I think you're actually being yourself. At least it comes off. I see you as you're actually being yourself. It's just that you're a very enthusiastic and energetic person, which does deliver the news that much better. It does. It's your personality they can't duplicate.
Yeah, you can, and actually, I love that about you, Lana, because I can see it come through. It's just like if you're telling the news, it might be a sad story, but wait a minute now, I'm sad too, but you know what? I'm just trying to tell you that news.
Yeah,
let you know, because they start the shows off these days with somebody got shot.
Yeah,
somebody did. This is the attention. Oh, this person was robbed or something, but the way you would bring news and just watching you lately, and that personality truly comes through.
Yeah,
I can feel it. Are you frozen again? I think she's frozen.
Okay, well, it's all good.
It's okay.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
I just cut it off Wi-Fi and onto a different. Hopefully that doesn't work, but I mean that works.
That's quite all right. But I want to
go ahead.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no, like you're right, and ask me any news questions that you have, because I can, tell you all the secrets. But they do that because they feel like, what's the most important thing happening? What's the most, the biggest thing that's happened? And if they feel like that they don't put that at the top, it looks like they're not covering it, like they're not there, they don't know, and it's like a big thing. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of stations are trying to figure out, because a lot of people they don't want to hear that necessarily anymore. They don't want to wake up and hear about, 6 people dying.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It's like, oh, I just woke up. Gosh.
Yeah.
so, so it is like such,
yeah.
exactly. So it is such a balance. And it's interesting as they're trying to figure out what to do about that, because it's on one hand, some people are like, I don't want to waste my time. I just want to know what I need to know. But then it's like, well, I don't want like, the worst news of the world right now. So it is a balancing act, and so, I don't envy the decision makers.
But let me tell you what, I think I'm going to say it because I can personally feel it. They need you. And here's the reason why they need you. As I said, you cannot duplicate your personality. The way you're coming through authentic. You have a personality. A lot of those people they have on there suck. And I'll say it because I can say it. Just like a lot of people in my business suck too. But it's if you don't have that personality and you're not able to bring it, you can't fabricate it, you can't duplicate it. It's who you are, and it's your energy that you bring into it. You make me want to watch the news. Just like whenever you see an actor or actress, like if they don't deliver that part, it's because they were wrong for that part, and some hero cast them in that part because of favoritism or whatever. But what you're doing is great, and honestly, it translates from not only you being on the news, but it's translating to what you do, Lana, on location, and it's also translating as you talk to us.
Yeah, I can feel that. Lana, I can tell you one thing. We have 3 main stations here, and they brought a guy on, and he is so tiring. He's so boring that and though the partner that he has, the co-anchor, she's excellent. I have turned from the station because I cannot stand to hear his slow talking. And though I'm a Southerner, but it's snow. It's like, and I said to myself, wait a minute. I can't take it. I can't take it. So I switched to another station, and they brought in this young lady who has a personality similar to yours. And she can do the news all by herself, as you could do the news. She can do weather, sports. She does it all. When they were on vacation, she was doing it all. One person. And I can see that you can do the same thing. You say you have the same ability. So Lana, on location, tell us about some of the locations and what.
Yeah, where have you been? You've been all over the place.
Oh man. Okay, so we did a cross-country road trip, and I've always wanted to travel. It's like a dream come true. So, I just wanted to see just different landscapes, and I just wanted to, see what this world looked like, especially our country. I feel like we don't even realize how big this country is. You know what I mean? Like it's huge. And we're all in our little bubbles of like, where we live, but it's like, I mean, the things that I've seen are just like, I didn't even know we're in this country. We got so many different landscapes.
Yeah.
So we started off in South Carolina.
Okay.
And Charleston, South Carolina. You guys are from South Carolina.
Yeah.
And then we went to Tennessee.
How's
we
that?
went to North Carolina. Then we went to Tennessee. Then we went to Kentucky. And then we went to through Kansas to Colorado.
Oh, wow.
And then down from Colorado, I think we went to Arizona next.
Oh, I love Arizona. What part?
We were that's where the Grand Canyon is, right? We were in this, there's like
I
this.
don't know. Why is the Grand? I think the Grand Canyon is close to Vegas for some reason. I might be special.
It was like 2 to 4 hours away where we were, because we didn't go to the south, like the regular like Grand Canyon part. There's like a backside of it where you see kind of above the canyon. Like Saddleback Mountain or Saddleback Trail, whatever it was. That's where we were headed. So that was there, and then we went to Las Vegas, not Nevada.
Okay. How was what was your favorite place tell us about Tennessee and Kentucky, and I'm gonna get Colorado. I'm gonna get all 3. What was your favorite thing to do there? Or what's something that you enjoyed in each of those spots that you went?
Okay.
Or food. It can be the food.
Or
music. Yeah, there you go.
So a lot of it we were camping primarily. Like we stayed at Airbnbs and whatnot, as well, obviously. But a lot of it was camping because that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to see if we could go and camp and just see all these like magnificent places that you kind of can't unless you are camping.
Okay.
And so we just had, it's just like the landscapes, the mountains have been so beautiful, and just like the wildlife. That's what we could talk about. The wildlife. What I realized was that housing and like roofs and just buildings and whatnot, they're not protecting you from like rain necessarily. I mean, they are, but they're protecting you from the animals. Those animals.
You have a bold spirit. Go ahead, because I'm gonna tell you, I'm marking these things so I can talk my one spirit. Go ahead with that bold spirit. Go right ahead. Let's listen about you being out in the open.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You never realize what a nuisance animals are. Like, if you leave out anything, a squirrel's eating it, a crow's eating it. I hate crows. To this day,
wow.
I will never. I have beef with all crows for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like how they just sit there and wait, and as soon as you slip up. But it's interesting because you kind of realize that you don't need almost anything. You know what I mean? Like when you're camping, all you have is what you have. And we would do it for like a couple of days. So,
Okay.
you know, you kind of do a couple days, go probably stay in an Airbnb a couple days. You know, it's kind of like a mixed bag of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't really need that much. And that's what I think I got from that experience more than anything. Like all the material stuff that you think that you just like, oh, just like you're yearning for, it's just not necessary, you know?
Yeah.
And
That's correct.
yeah, and a lot of it, what we were doing was like, you know, hiking and just really trying to connect with just
Nature.
God more and nature more, and just, you know,
Yeah.
like slow down, not looking at TV 24/7, not looking at my phone 24/7. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
like a completely different way of life. And like I look back on that whole time because I've been like in this Airbnb for like a month and a half kind of
Okay.
situation now. Because we kind of just needed to land. You know, camping
Yeah.
is fun, but
You got to have something. Yeah. You got to shower and stuff.
you know,
That's
in a
amazing.
shower, we need to have some
Yeah.
like sense of like normalcy. Because
Yeah.
you know, you put your tent up, you put everything up, you got to take it all back down. You go to the next spot, you put it all up, you take it all back down. I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It was a lot of work.
Were you a Girl Scout?
Wasn't a Girl Scout. Wasn't a
Uh-oh.
Girl Scout. I don't know why I just had this bite of camping and outdoors and adventure stuff. Oh my God. The first thing we did, we went waterfall rappelling. Like I
Oh, that's what I meant
rappelled
to
down
ask
a
about.
waterfall.
Yeah. I saw that video, I think.
Now that was fascinating. I part of what I wanted to do was camp and travel and just find adventures, find like just outdoorsy, thrillsy types of things. So I looked up, I found this waterfall rappelling. I think that was in Tennessee.
Okay.
And that experience was terrifying. And I've gone skydiving before.
Oh, wow.
But it you get to a ledge and then you have to lean over. You know, you're on the edge of a cliff and then you lean to start walking your way down. And it's, you know, at the top, you know, you're 200, it was a 200-foot
Oh my.
grapple. So, you know, there was two options, a 100-foot or a 200-foot. We're like, well, of course I can get a 200-foot.
Go
because,
big.
you know. So, you know, as soon as I got up there, it was like, man, this is horrifying. Like anything could go wrong. And it was interesting because I slipped. I slipped like halfway down, and I was kind of like, you know,
sideways. Yeah.
like swinging, like a pendulum almost. And the first thought was like, this has got to be normal, right? This is normal. It was not normal. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh no.
But it was like you were like face to face with fear at that point. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, and there were literally two options in front of you. Like you can either like let this seep in and panic because the guide's at the top and at the bottom. So in the middle, you know, all you do is remember the lesson you got 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
And go down. Like I'd never done that before.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, shutting it off and be like, this is not helpful right now. This is not going to do anything right now. Like, what am I supposed to do? And so it was like, man, this is like, it was cool seeing how you react to fear.
Yeah.
You know, everybody kind of like lives in a state of trying to be the most comfortable as possible when, you know, it's kind of good to see, like, you know, if I were in this situation, how would I handle it? We got there because, you know, me and my boyfriend, we would watch this show called Special Forces.
Oh yeah, I know one of the guys who's coming on here from that, Rudy Reyes.
Okay, yeah. So we were watching, and you know, those are just regular people. I mean, they're actors, celebrities, whoever they are, just regular people doing all this crazy stuff. And you know, you always look and you're like, man, could I do something like that? Like, I wonder what I would do. So we saw the waterfall rappelling. We were like, all right, this is our chance. Like, you know, what are we gonna do it or not? So that was really cool. But overall, I think one of the biggest things this whole time has taught me, like you guys were very actually supportive.
Yeah, absolutely. Why
And
wouldn't we be?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's a lot of people that aren't. I get it. Trust me.
there are a lot of people who are not
Yeah. No, I feel you.
supportive. Like when you want to do something that's out of the normal,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't support you.
You're right.
Well, only person you need to support from is yourself. You're within you. You have to support yourself in the idea that you want to do. Your family might not always support you in that idea, but we've always been one when it comes to our kids, whatever they want to do. My parents were the same way. If I wanted to be an astronaut, I could have been one. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't like heights or anything like that. But the bottom line, if I had the wherewithal they felt and the ability to do it, they had faith in us and God that we could get it done. So I think when people out there discouraging others from their dreams, that's crazy.
Losers.
Well,
Losers.
They are in their own world of where they don't want to be. But there's certain things I wouldn't do. And, and certain people don't feel comfortable. For instance, you talking about camping. Oh, no, this black girl does not camp, won't camp, don't care to camp. But I would, if you want to camp, tell me about your experience. I have to have a bathroom. Oh, no, because see, I lived in the South when we had an outhouse as a little girl. And I would have to go outside to this outhouse. You think I want to deal with that kind of life now? No. So bathroom is my biggest thing. And then my granddaddy was a preacher, and we go to these churches and they didn't have a bathroom in it. So we'd have to go out back and use the bathroom. So camping is out.
Yeah.
All of that's out for me. Though I'm a biologist, though I love science, though I love animals and all of that. But no, a bear, I don't want to see. I don't want to even go near. I don't want to see a fox. I don't want to see certain things. But you did that. And so I'm so glad that you have it in you. And don't always wait for friends to support you in those.
They won't a lot of times. And let me take back the loser part, Lana. I just want to take that back.
Yeah, because I feel that they are in their world of comfort, like you said. But you have to get uncomfortable in this life to make a difference.
And that was part of it to me. I wanted to see if I could do it, and there are so many, when I first got into this business, you don't make a lot of money in this business until you get to the end. My first job, I made $30,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And I was doing the most work. I was doing overtime for free. I mean, this business is, I could tell you, I don't really think people understand what this business is, but it wasn't like I was used to not having things, when you're making $30,000 a year, you're trying to, you kind of just doing what you can do, and then as you get up, and right, and as you start making more and more money, it's like, okay, I like these comforts, I can start adding things to it, but like deep down, I'm used to not just having stuff. So I was like, could I step out and be uncomfortable to see the life that I wanted to see? It was almost like I was choosing a different discomfort.
Yeah.
Where I was not comfortable in one sense, but I had all the financial stability in the world. So I'm going to go and switch. I'm just changing my, which discomfort do you want? Because you're going to have discomfort. So I just decided, okay, I had a lot of savings, I planned for this. So it's like, I'm going to take my savings and I'm going to not have the financial stability part, but I'm going to go and travel. And I'm going to take this time. It wasn't like I'm going to move to the woods. Like it wasn't like this was forever. But it was like, this is like something I've always wanted to do. Why not? You get what I said last time. You get one shot at life. Why would I not take the chance? I don't have kids. I don't have a mortgage. Nobody's depending on me. Like this is the last chance I have to do something like this. You know what I mean? So like, why not seize it? And it's like trying to explain that to people. Like my mom, thank God for my mom. She understood. Like she's been so supportive. Yeah.
Support.
But I've had other family members who just thought I was crazy. They see this glamorous career and they don't see the day-to-day, the gritty, the hard parts. They're not there. They're not there for the parts that are not pretty, and they just see it from their lens. I even had somebody on YouTube, no idea who it is, has sent me messages throughout, has sent me comments throughout. I wish you would go back to your career. I wish you would go back to work. I wish you would see this dream is not working. It's like, what are you doing?
That's a loser. I'm sorry. You don't come out and call me, or be a man or woman about it. Probably someone you work with, who is saying these comments like I'm proud of you. So is my mom.
Definitely. I'm looking so forward to seeing you again. I said, when is Lana coming back?
Yeah.
We want to talk to her about her trip.
And Lana, I don't want to not cut you off, but it's those people that I hope continue to drive you, because it's like, hey, you know what? You're doing what your heart's telling you to do. And honestly, when you take that leap of faith, just like you jumped off that mountain, rappelled off that mountain, there's a moment of freeness when you conquer that fear, because fear is there. But when you make that, when you get to that invisible wall, well, there was danger there too, but when you get to that invisible wall of fear, it's amazing what comes out on the other side of it. And you've leveled up from it.
Yes.
1000%. And, I feel like everybody, I guess, most people anyway, but definitely me, had a really toxic way of thinking about money. You think about money and you just you get treated any old kind of way because I don't want to lose my money, or I'll accept any old kind of anything because I don't want to lose money. And it's like, that was money part of it. Mm-hmm. Can I live without all of the financial security?
Yeah.
And if I can, then I can say, you know what, money doesn't get to rule me.
Amen.
I'm going to be fine no matter what. Lana can live in a tent in the woods, play. Not that I want to.
Yeah.
But and it was more so breaking out of that. Like, why are you letting people treat you like this for money? Why are why are you doing things that don't feel right? People are telling you to damper down who you are and put you in this box and all for money.
Yes.
This is not worth it to me. And I want to just see if I can get completely out of this life, out of this, do something totally different and just see what happens. And fear, let me tell you, it's so strange how it's just mental. It's nothing. And that's been the biggest block because, as you have family saying, they don't know, so when are you going back to work? It's like, I don't know. And that's the thing. I left the job that I was in because it wasn't right. It wasn't right. And I knew that I could, that something else better was out there for me. And I didn't know what it was, but I was trusting God. And I said, look, I don't know what it is, but it's got to be better. I can't believe this is all that you have for me. I'm being treated, I don't like this. And so, when you leave that and you're like, well, what people are asking, what's next? I don't know. I don't know. For the longest, that answer was just, I really don't know. I just know that God has me. And I do these devotionals. And there was one that was saying something like faith is basically you're gonna look foolish. Faith is when you realize this is destined to fail without divine intervention. I don't know what is going to happen. If I could control it, then I'm not asking God to help me with this.
Absolutely.
I'm at a point where it's like, well, at least I was at a point because now I got some things cooking now, sort of. But but for the longest, there's a stretch where I was like, I don't know. I have an agent who was looking for a job. And I told him, I was like, look, I don't want to go into another job to just make money. I don't want to go into another job that's going to tell me, dial back your personality and your, all these things that don't feel right.
Oh, I know what you're talking about all the way.
For money, it's like you get in these jobs and they start telling you how you're supposed to, and it's like, whoa, this is, whoa.
And then you feel,
I want to give you.
He's telling us, Lana, I'm so glad you're speaking this to young people, your group of young people, because, and speaking it to me, because see, I tell everybody I'm free as God has made me. But I love what you're saying because you're not compromising yourself for someone else. And I'm seeing people who let money compromise their principles. They forget the people they're supposed to be serving. They forget their way. They've lost their way because they let the almighty green dollar, they call it, for the love of money, that song goes, dictate what life should be and become ruthless. Ruthless. So I'm so glad that you're saying this to everybody. And look at you. When are you going back? Oh, I am working. I'm working. And some people don't live to see the next day. The Lord always tells us, don't plan for another day because you're not promised today. You're just living in today, and you don't know if that 24 hours will last to the end of the day. And when you see disasters happen in the land, and you see young people, and so sad about what happened with the water and the floods recently, and the loss of life at early ages, then you start to put into, and I hope people start to think about life the way you think about it, the way Brandon thinks about it. To make the most, enjoy this time of your life, because time is fleeting. It's going by fast, faster than you really know it. Here it is Thursday, and I'm just looking back. Monday was just looked like just yesterday to me, but here it is Thursday, and soon be Friday. And so we're not promised anything but to enjoy this life. So when someone says, when you go back to work, you tell them, go ahead, enjoy your life. I'm working right now, listening to you. Okay. So that's it, listening to what you have to say. And so with that, Lana, you have keep on telling the story for these young people to hear, and old people who don't know.
Lana, I did want to say one thing. Sorry, just to interject. It's two things. One, I read a devotional book too by Max Lucado, and the one that's great for the moment. But you know the thing from Coach Carter, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're more powerful than you can imagine. It is our light, not our darkness, that most guides us. You know, who are we not to be great? What the kind of thing is saying. You will have people, which I know this firsthand because we work in a similar type of business, where people are insecure at the fact of who you are, that you are great, that you are Black, you are beautiful, and you're talented. And they want you to hold back your personality because that makes them feel insecure. The longer they're able to hold you back, because they feel insecure, they don't want you to take their job. They feel that you're gunning for their job, but you don't realize that you're not looking at them as competition, because your competition is that person you're looking at in the glass or in the mirror. But their insecurities are revealed by them saying, hey, I need you to dull it down. Everybody and their sisters told me to dull it down in my career. Has told me to play every small part I've had, which there are no small parts, but every part that they try to put me in, I've always made it great. And the casting director saw me in those parts as great. Point I'm trying to say is this: don't you stop or hold yourself back for anybody. And I'm glad that you said, you know what, I'm gonna get the hell up out here. I'm gonna be Lana Croft, Tomb Raider, and do my traveling and do my own thing. And now you're showcasing yourself better than you could have showcased at that news station, because now you have a reel that you're constantly building by doing these.
Yeah.
Back to you,
and I'm getting paid off of it. Like I get, it's not like that much money, but it's enough that there was a moment where, I mean, I was really like, the whole thought process was that maybe I could build up my own brand and start trying to make money on my own.
Yeah. Which is great.
Right. And there was a point where I was just trying every day. It was while we were camping. And I mean, there's just one point I was like low. Like, I don't want this to sound like it was all peaches and like happiness.
We know it's not.
There were points where I was stressed. And there was a point where I was crying, and I was like, God, what is this? Like, I thought I'm just watching my money dwindle. I don't know how, like, I don't know what's next.
I'm like a control person.
This is while I was camping still.
Yes.
Oh yeah, go ahead, keep on.
So, now you're also like dealing with rent. Camping is not all that glorious all the time. Like, there are, when some crow eats your food, you're like, well, great. Or when it's raining and it's like, oh, great. It's like, there are things that happen where it's funny now, because it's like, that's just the stupidest. Like, what happened to you today? Well, a crow ate my food.
Yeah. It's like that keys fall. I sent you that meme a long time ago when the keys fall. And when you had a bad day and the keys fall right when you get to the apartment, the guy starts crying.
Exactly.
You're throwing things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was this point where I was like, God, what is this? I had just read this Devo where it's like, you're not supposed to worry, about your money, about your food, about what you'll wear. It's like, God feeds the birds. You don't think he'll feed you? God clothes the flowers. You don't think he'll clothe you? So I was like, God, like, what is this? I'm this, all I have is faith right now. That's it.
That's right.
I have no way. I don't know. I'm just walking in a dark tunnel, knowing light is on the other end, not knowing where I'm going. But it's like, and then money came out of nowhere. I mean, it was only $500, but it was like, oh, hey, look, $100 here, like in like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, like it's like you get little nods, you know what I mean, along the way when you're really looking for it.
Yeah.
And to your quote, it's crazy that you say that, because I was saying that, a couple of weeks ago. I brought that quote up. People say, you're not, your deepest fear isn't that you're inadequate, it's that you're not. Think about that you are powerful beyond measure, because then you have to think about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why am I letting somebody treat me like this? Why am I settling for this? Why is my life so, it doesn't have to be. Why am I letting, because I don't deserve it? You do. Nobody deserves anything any more than anybody else in this world.
Yeah.
So
That's correct.
it's only up to you. All you can do is decide, how will I allow someone to treat me? What will I accept?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I got to a point where I'm no longer accepting the toxic things that are coming at me.
Amen.
I don't
Perfect.
know what it
Perfect.
looks like to not be in this toxic situation.
Yeah.
Because the toxic situation is comfortable. That's the thing about fast food, the thing about things that are easy. Yeah, you can go get some fast food, go to a fast food restaurant, but that's not healthy.
Yeah.
It'll make you full. It's
Yeah.
not going to nourish your body. It'll probably make you fat.
Yeah.
If you went and cooked your own food, then you'll start seeing yourself lose the weight. Then you'll start seeing, because it's not food, but it's fast.
Yeah.
It's easy. So you'll say in a toxic situation, well, it's good enough. Well, if good enough is good for you, then good enough is good for you.
Yeah.
But
not for
eventually you
me.
get to a point where good enough isn't good enough. You know, it's like, well, I think I could do better than this.
Yeah.
And God's got to do it, because it's, good enough was what I could do. I need God to do something crazy.
Yeah.
So that's where I got, and it's been like a whole journey,
Yeah.
And Lana, he will do it. And one thing I wanted to tell you, you said something so powerful. You don't need much. And when I think about children that are out there starving in countries, and I think about all I have, I'm right now in the midst of going through boxes and piling up things to give away to women living in shelters, getting outfits ready for them to go for interviews, finding things. I came across something I've kept so long, one of Brandon's little raincoat. Little raincoat when he was 4 years old. I had that raincoat because I wanted it for him, and I was going to give it away. Brandon didn't want me to give the raincoat. He said, Mama, I remember wearing this.
I do. It's how I learned how to put on a jacket. That's right over there.
And so I have this antique, not the beer for what you're saying, but don't need much. I have this antique doll baby one of my sisters gave me, and I had one when I was a little girl, and then I moved, we lost her. But my parents, a little black doll baby, she walked and everything. I never realized that they had put on this doll baby apron like she was a maid. I thought it was a dress, but the way they made the doll baby, the little black doll baby, it stands high, about this tall from the floor. It's about 3 feet tall, and about yardstick tall, and a little black doll baby. And Brandon said, I said, Brandon, I have the doll baby over here. Do you want me to put the raincoat on the doll? Yes, go ahead, Mama. Keep the raincoat. Put the raincoat on the doll baby. Yeah. So the doll baby now will have a raincoat with a hood on her. I'll show her the next time you come on. I have to bring her so you can see her. But she is just wonderful, and she stands and she keeps me company and everything. But I wanted to let you know. So we don't need much. Getting back to, we don't need much. And I think about all the people and all the things I have just bought over the years and I don't need. And so I thought, and I said, Lord, the people who had been in here destroying things, I said, hopefully they will understand, because maybe something that they touched will be in their house, on their back, understanding what they did wrong. And so I thought about people who need things. And I said, people should not, when you have things and you're giving them away, give them away, because you can't take them with you. My mother said she never saw a U-Haul behind a hearse. So the hearse, and my mother said that when I was a little girl, you never see that. And so that's true. Now, U-Haul might be driving behind that hearse, but it's not carrying your things. Right. And your soul has already left whatever they have in that hearse, by the way. So we don't need much. And now that you've realized that, I give thought about what I'm going to buy, what is necessary to be bought. If I put someone out of business because you selling a $50,000 pocketbook, well, you out of business on my behalf, because I cannot, when I think about others needing things, and if I can help their situation. So what you said, you don't need much. Make what you have, make yourself happy.
Not only that, it's like exactly. And to
Mhm.
build off of that, it almost makes me want to be more generous. Like this,
Yes.
I'm so grateful for this in the sense that like nobody wants to think of themselves as selfish.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
but at the same time, when you think about, oh, do you want to donate? Or, it's time to give at church. It's like,
Yeah.
do I really have it right now? It's really changed my mindset of all that, because there have been times, again, where thank God I had the savings that I did. I didn't have to go into debt for this.
Yeah.
It's all, I've been covered. The money that I've gotten and the money from the videos that I've gotten, like it's all been covered. Like God has
Yeah.
been so good. But the
Amen.
times where I was so distraught and thinking like, where am I going? I just, and then where I said money came from nowhere, and I was just like, God, this is such a blessing. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I now, like, now my heart, like, I see people who are in that position and they don't have the
Uh-huh.
the basin, and they
Yeah.
just could just use a break. They just need, if somebody just dropped $20 in my lap right now, I could go get some food. I think about that
Yeah.
now. Like, when you're in a situation of like, of not having just money coming at you, 2 times a month, by monthly, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're saving and you're pinching pennies.
Mhm.
People live like that. People
Yeah.
people don't
Right.
know
That's
where their next, and it sounds so entitled, and it sounds so, but again, I started off making 30,000. Now it's not like I just
Yeah. You worked your
came
way
from
up. Yeah.
nothing.
yes. Yes.
But it just, when people have kids and it's not about them, or people have, sick parents or whoever, and they're just like, man, if I could just have $50, it really
Yeah.
does make me think like I do need to give more. Whenever I get back in a position where I'm making money, it should
Yeah.
be a priority to give. It should be
Yeah.
a priority to try to help people who are in a situation where they were feeling the way I was feeling when I said, God, what is this? Help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and the thought of me being able to be that for someone now is like, that's beautiful,
It
Yeah,
and
is.
and
that's a
so
wonderful thing. Well,
yeah.
I wanted to tell you something. This little book right here, in my going through stuff, I had this little book, and it's a shoot for the moon, and in it has different little sayings. And when you were talking, I flipped to this. I just flipped it open, and it came to this page about freedom. And I was thinking about that person you mentioned that comes with the little comments, and they're working from their little dock area, and when you're going back, where what does it matter to you what my life is about? So but what this says, and I think about Brandon, and sometimes that's like you have all these positive comments out there, a million people telling you, oh, wonderful job, and then this one little nerdy person comes out and says something so stupid that it resonates more than the most positive things God is trying to tell you in this whole process. And I guess that's mankind to do that type of thing. And so, like Brandon said something to you, he said, use that to light your fire, keep on going,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Say, just keep it going.
Yeah. You
Keep
just have to
moving.
put that chip on
Oh,
your shoulder.
yeah, because the more they put out, oh, yeah, let me keep on going because I'm doing something right. But this page said, freedom is the ability not to care what the other person thinks.
Amen.
Freedom, that's called true
Yes.
freedom. You have to get there, you're there. And then it says, the way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Okay, so remember that. I just flipped to that
Okay,
page.
Mom. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Booklet that I gave it. I keep it on the table now for Brandon. I said, Brandon, your turn. It just has so many little sayings in it. And I must have had this for years. I don't know if one of my sisters gave me this book, because I have a sister who always gives us little things. And it might have come from when we had a sister weekend that she put this in my group of things, of presents that she gave me. But with that, I came across it again the
Perfect
other day.
time.
And it's perfect because I said on the Buckle Up podcast, we now have
11 million.
11 million.
28 countries, 256 cities.
Yeah, with all the.
Sorry, I love saying the numbers for all the haters out there.
Because I want them to, I'm going to start sharing a little saying with the guests that come on out of this little book, Shoot for the Moon. And so with that,
you're shooting now, Lana.
I am just so proud of you, Lana. You just don't know, because you shared with me a few things. First of all, the waterfall. Of course, I won't be doing that. I don't like heights. Oh, thank you very much for putting the stamp on. This Black girl won't be doing that. Thank you very much. All right, let's do about that camping thing. Oh, you got to put up a tent. You got to sit out there with bugs. Oh, this Black girl won't be doing that. Thank you very much, Lana, for telling me that. Okay. And then the other thing I like, but the fear, and you've learned a lot. Fear and flight has come in. You've grown. The wisdom, you've grown with a lot. You know a lot of things now. You've shared a lot with me as the things that I won't be doing. Thank you very much. At my age, even though I could do it, I don't want to do it. And so when you get that place, you could do it and you don't want to do it, that's when you know you've made it. Okay. So you've done a great job, Lana.
Thanks. And I do really feel like freedom is what I gained from this, because I really did realize, like, I think everybody has something that they are put here to do, you know, and I feel like there's a way to get paid for it, no matter what it is. Like, that's what you are, and what I was brought here to do, I think, is just to communicate, to help, you know, explain things. I think I have a knack for, you know, explaining like really complicated things that are going on and boiling it down and just, okay, here's what happened. And, you know, but that doesn't mean that I have to get treated a certain way to be able to do it. And I think that's where I am going to go back into whatever is next for me and say, you know, no matter what happens, you don't get to talk to me or treat me like X or Y or Z. I'm gonna respect you no matter what, because that's who I am. But I'm going to expect the respect that I give you. You know, I'm not, you don't get to treat me any old kind of way. I'm gonna give you my absolute best. And I'm gonna, because that's what I want to do. You know, I want to be good. I want to like share and bring that. But, you know, for years I just let people, you know, tell me I wasn't good or tell me I wasn't, you know, it just ate at me. And, you know, I've cried so much over the years of people just telling me no, or you're not good enough, or you're X or Y or Z. And there was always something in the back of my head saying, like, I don't believe you. So I'm gonna keep trying, because I don't believe you. But there was a big part of me as well that was like just crushed by it.
That's right.
And when that person, whoever that was first saying, you know, go back to work, my grandparents had just said the same thing. It was like everybody, it was like, man, my aunt, it was like, man, everybody's like, they don't get it. And sometimes I think that like, that's the lesson. Not everybody's always gonna get it. And where it ate at me at first, now when I saw that comment yesterday, I was like,
it's
okay,
nothing.
you know, it ate at me in the beginning. And now, okay, you don't get it. And I even said to him back like a month ago when he first said it, I was like, you know, I'm glad that you love work so much that you would encourage a stranger to go back to work. But I'm okay. Like I like traveling. I don't want to be at work right now. I've set myself up to not be there right now. I'm doing a whole other way of life right now. Why would you tell someone, go back to work, go back to career? This is never going to work. Don't believe your dreams. It's like, what? And then why would I listen to that? You know, and it's like, it sounds so absurd. Why would I listen to that? And that's kind of how we all are with social media. I feel like, you know, you see all those negative comments, and that's the one, like you said, that's the one you harp on. You get 16 good comments and one bad one, and you just harp on that one. And it's like, why would I believe this? Like, who even
it's always
not true.
That's right. It's always those naysayers out there.
I love them. I love them.
The negative people. But it's something like you said about the news, the truth, and how the news is portrayed to us out here, and how you can feed into something, or you can let that stuff feed into your spirit and then start taking it in bits and pieces, when you need to dismiss it all. Just clean it out, say, take it for what it's worth. But because I think about when we were growing up in books, I think about books when I was a little girl. I'll never forget this. I was in high school in an honors class, and we had books, and in the books, I didn't see who really created the cotton gin. I said, it's not in the books. And I was the only black girl. Well, there was one other black guy in this all white honors class. And I raised up my hand in history and I said, oh, this is not right. A black man actually was the one that invented the cotton gin. And my history teacher said that, well, it's not in the book. Well, the books were taking the truth, not giving us the truth. And we weren't getting the truth in the books. And these were called books, supposed to be educating us with no information to tell the truth within a book. So, but I love books. I will still read books, but then you need to learn the truth for yourself as well. As far as the news is concerned, you listen, but then you learn the truth. I'll hear things on the news, then I'll go on the internet and then I'll go to certain sources and research to make sure that's the truth. And so that's what I feel that what you said, and I think that's enlightened us all about how to take the news, how to deal with them, what they're being paid to present to their audience. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's why we might hear certain things. What is that about? So I'm glad you shared that with the group today.
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know if it was COVID or what it was, but I don't know, maybe you guys have the same sense. This is just my own thought that around COVID, it really like got a lot worse.
Yeah.
And I really, my thought, I don't know for sure, is that, where you come, come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My theory is that, that's where it really got very segmented.
Yeah.
And these people at the tops of these news organizations started realizing we're getting a lot of hate calls when we talk good things about Biden or good things about Trump, or we're getting a lot of love and a lot of things when we have this kind of person on. And, the news business is losing a lot of money because of social media.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a reporter on social media. Anybody can go put up a phone.
Exactly.
So they're losing a lot of money. And so they don't really have, in my opinion, they don't have the ability anymore to, for lack of a better word, piss off their viewers.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you what you're asking me for.
That's right.
And it is doing a bit of a huge, I would say, disservice, to the extent that you're not giving everyone everything. It's not like you're lying. I'm not talking about people who come in and give their opinion. Opinion is one thing, just the facts of it. If there's something that happens and I'm pulling out, let's say I'm watching news station A, and they're really going hard on police brutality, and they're really going hard on, people not being able to afford food. And I turn on B, and they're talking about the issues at the border all the time, and they're talking about whatever they might be talking about. If I'm viewer A, I think that police brutality is the biggest issue that this country is facing. If I'm watching B, I think that the border is the biggest issue that the country's facing. And I go talk to my fellow man. What do you mean? This is not important. This is not important. That's because you're not seeing it. You don't know what this person is seeing. It's not that they're wrong. It's that they're getting different information. They're watching something different. So I think it's on all of us at this point to go that extra mile and watch the other station. When you like let it not make you mad, because sometimes, you'll turn on a station, it's like, oh, this is just making me mad. Don't let it make you mad. What if you are wrong? What if you are wrong? That's what I say to myself. If I'm not right, then I have to watch this objectively. And I don't think I'm right. That's why I feel like my news videos have done so well so quickly, because I've only been doing it for like a year at this point. And on TikTok, I have like 22,000, I think, followers, which isn't a lot. It's just big, but it's new.
Hey, but still,
Yeah, that's big.
There's people tuning in.
So it's but I don't think I'm right. So it's like I'm just telling you what's being put out there. I'm not telling you what's right, because who am I to say who's right? But this is what is happening. This is what people are saying. Take it or leave it. Take it as information and move along with your day. Don't let this stuff make you mad. Because for what? What is that going to add to your day?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're not getting all the information anyway. People at the top, we're getting whatever we're being told, and that just is what it is, So it's like, it's just not worth losing any like sleep over. And it's more so worth, I think, understanding the way the other side thinks. That way you can actually try to have a conversation or try, this is why they're not just crazy. I see it now. I don't agree, but I see it now. At least I get it.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what the news should be.
Always love. That's what I always love. And Lana, I tell you right now, I see why your Atlanta people missed you when you got off when you were getting ready to say goodbye, because they knew that they're going to miss you on the news. They probably ran to the news when you're going to be on, and it's like, oh, she's gone. She's gone with those tears. But the fact is, Lana now has moved to a different place, and she's bringing different things, and she's thriving, and she has a following. And so you have to get on when Lana is on. Yeah. And so it's going. What's the name of her program?
Lana on Location. Lana, I do want to say something before Mom wraps this up.
No, I'm not gonna wrap it up.
Okay, I do want to say one thing. First off, I used the term that people are losers earlier, which I wanted to correct that, because some people are. Yes, I agree with that.
Some people are. Hold on. Yeah. Some people are.
And they're losers and they're hating. When in a situation with your family, it's a couple things there. I can understand how, because I've been there and I've been through it. I had family members that doubted what I was capable of doing. So or were just worried for me. So for instance, my grandma, who said I couldn't be an actor, was one thing. My
not my mother.
Yeah. My grandma Smith said that. And then my granddad Smith's like, hey, well, why don't you be a teacher or something like that? And even though I was going through those hard times, I kept believing in those dreams. And at the end of the day, before he died, he was constantly watching every single TV show that I was in. So I stuck with my path. Although it took years, I stuck with that. Now, on the other hand, I have a family member who's insecure and has said every evil thing to me underneath the sun, and wanted me to fail at my career, because that person themselves are insecure. And because that person didn't use their God-given talent, they figured, hey, if I deflect that I'm a loser, and I put all this bad stuff, call Brandon all kinds of names, put him down, that I was going to deflect from what I'm doing, which is, yes, did that hurt me? Because it came from someone personal to me. But it's like, I kept believing in myself, and God has proven. Now, that same person on that same end said god-awful things about me, but is the first person to post all my acting stuff out there to try and get credit from it. And it's like, hey, on this one end, exactly. On this one end, you're calling me all these bad, terrible things, saying about my career, wanting me to give up on it. And then yet, whenever I end something, you're up here being, oh, man, I support then all this kind of stuff. So keep doing what you're doing. If they're talking about you, they're doing something right. Yes, it might be scary for them, but it's not scary for you, because I heard you say this one thing is that God has you on a path, and it's faith-driven. And yes, it might be uncomfortable. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. My thing took 16 years to get to where I'm at, but I stuck with it. And then now, because of that, it's been able to help people, just like you're able to help people with what you're doing currently and continue to do.
There was this time a couple of weeks ago where I, again, was praying like, God, I just need a sign. I just need a sign. Yeah. You know, nothing crazy. I don't need like a bunch of money to buy. I just need a sign. Yeah. I swear on everything I love. I walked outside and somebody had on their phone. They were watching a video on their phone, I guess. Yeah. And it was over and over and over the same phrase: no test, no testimony. No test, no testimony. Oh, no test, no testimony. And I was like,
I love that. Yeah.
But it was so true. Like if you're not uncomfortable, if you're not like going through it, like you don't get to tell anybody how good God was, because God didn't get to do anything good. Everything was just always good, you know? Exactly. You know, like when someone's born into riches, amazing. But you don't, you know, it's like, I can't really, you know, that's good for you, but you didn't, you didn't earn that, you know? And it's a lot more, I think, impactful when you can tell someone you don't need someone to give you all this stuff to be something. You can do it with faith and with enough like perseverance. Amen. And, you know, crying nights if you need them. Yeah. Nights of discouragement if you need them. But you can get there, you know? And that's what I hope I can, like, you know, I'm not the best at being interviewed.
Lana. Yeah, you are. You're giving your testimony here today.
You're right. No test, no testimony is correct. And I tell you the truth that the Bible always speaks. Money does not make you rich. Always remember that. That's in Proverbs. Ooh, money does not make you rich. You can have money and be a sorry character. And you can make an ugly difference because you have money. Yeah. So remember that. The Bible says money does not make you rich, or does not make one rich. Okay. So you're happy.
Yeah.
You're confident.
I am.
Your soul's being fed.
I started thinking of money as like a demon, honestly. I started thinking of money as a demon. And that helped in a way of saying, like, if you're trying to do things for money, you're doing that's the wrong, because you can make money any old kind of horrible way. You know what I mean? If you just want money, but if you want to be driven by purpose, then because again, I had a toxic, like, well, what, I have to be treated like this and I have to do this because I don't want to lose my money.
Yeah.
That's now you're a demon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's so right.
I don't want to serve you. I'm serving you if I'm constantly waking up and thinking about, now I wake up and I say, you need to do the Devo first. I don't care what it is. You're doing the Devo first. Because, I'm in a place where I need God. Why am I going to look up and look at my bank account? Why am I going to look up and look at how much money my video made? I'm serving. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you must be a demon because I don't want to be serving you. Like, and I think it'll come. That's what I'm praying for. I believe Lana, it will come.
If you believe it will come, it will. I constantly tell Mom with this show, I'm like, Mom, I know the money's coming. I'm not worried about it. I will just keep doing what we're doing because I know the money is coming, and I haven't changed on that. I understand her mom said, "Hey, we need that money now," but I'm like, Mom, I know the money because I have the vision behind it, and I know, and I just know it.
Well, it's called a purpose-driven life, and I think about any career that you go in. You love acting, you love being on the news, you love talking to people, and no matter if you're talking to Lana folks, you're talking to the world now, but you've always been talking to the world because somebody probably tuned in from the world. But I always say, with a purpose-driven life, and when I sold medicines for the pharmaceutical industry, it was all about making sure I learned. My son said he used to see me studying. I studied because I wanted to sell the medicines to help patients because I saw how many sick people were out there and how much doctors needed whatever they needed from me, information to impart within their knowledge, so that they could prescribe the right things for those sick patients. So that drove me to sell medicines. The reason I fell out with not the medicines I sold, but what was required to make that happen, which was not productive for my life, you see.
Yeah.
And it wasn't productive for the doctors. It wasn't productive for the patients either. So I still love talking about medicines. I talk with people, they tell me they have a medicine. I'll look up the PI, prescribed information, try to help them understand in language, regular language, how it works and what they need to be aware of. And that's all I ever wanted to do. So when something doesn't feel good, and I'm so glad to see where you're happy, your happy is back. You feel your happy is here. When your happy is there, you'll do your greatest work.
Yeah.
And that's why he loves going on sets. He's learned so much in 16 years. And I'm always, when I see him on the big screen, I'm always, that's actually my kid. Oh, that's why I said that's actually my kid. But he puts so much into it and how he learns parts and all. And so I'm proud of you both. As I've said this before, I'm proud of you both. Keep walking your walk. Keep making a difference.
Keep talking it too.
And keep talking your talk.
Yeah. Lana.
And keep bashing who needs to be bashed.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep on going.
We have Czech University here. Lana, I want to make sure, did you say everything you want to say? And the thing is, you're always welcome back. Like I just said, I'm glad we were able to get you. I've been trying to chase you down forever. But I understood that you were out there, but you're always welcome back because I think you have a lot to offer here.
Yeah,
always.
you really
and to just everybody that hears, because so many people that can relate to your story, especially on jobs where you have someone, I've dealt with it too, where you have someone that just wants to make your life a living hell because for them to dim your light brings them joy, but that's not going to bring them the blessing ultimately, because as you go through it, that gives you a testimony to tell. And then it also, I don't want to say it builds character, but it's going to ultimately bless someone else. God has you go through that so that you can tell someone else. I can relate to you with it. You can relate to me and my mom. I know she's going through it. So you're always on here. I want to make sure that you said everything you wanted to say too.
Well, anything else you want to say?
I think that's about it. I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not the best at being the interviewee. I feel like I just word vomit.
Oh, wait, hold on a second, Lana. Well, welcome to the Buckle Up podcast, because we knock that out of the park every time. And you've been an amazing guest at that.
Okay. Okay.
How's your mother?
Yeah, she's doing good.
Is your mother doing
well? My mother is good. Love that lady. Yes, she's doing well. She wants me to come back and visit. She's like, I just miss you so much.
Yeah.
She's like, just come.
Well, you look absolutely beautiful.
Yes, you do.
You always look so beautiful, and you always shine. And I thank you so much for being a part of my life and a part of Brandon's. And so we appreciate you. You be safe now where you are.
And you do great in the
you.
guest chair. Actually, in fact, you're a natural, someone would say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Guest chair.
Absolutely. Well, Lana, we always give everyone a bravo. I'll get this to you, and then let me know what picture you want to use this time. Or send me what picture, because I'll have this done in probably 3 hours.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, perfect. So just text me the photo you want to use, and I'll put it up there for your thing.
Bravo!
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
Yay, we did it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lana, for coming back. And be
Thank
safe
you
out.
guys.
You guys be safe out there and everything, and enjoy your travels.
And we love you.
Yeah, we do.
Love you guys.
Okay, all right,
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.